All right, next we have Minnesota, yet another team whose win total is set at 7.5. 9-4 a year ago, 6-3 in conference, ranked 23rd per F plus. Number 55 on offense, number 12 on defense. PJ Fleck entering his sixth season. Now, again, another offensive coordinator change. They fired Mike Sanford, who was pretty terrible. Nobody liked him there, and they brought back Kirk Shiraka, who was their 2019 offensive coordinator when they had that great season. Quarterback Tanner Morgan is still there. The running back Mo Ibrahim is back. I think they're both there for sixth years. Ibrahim, of course, if you remember, he got hurt against Ohio State in the opener a year ago.
Yep.
So they managed to go 9-4 even without him. And also wide receiver Chris Altman-Bell, another name that's been around for a long time. Those are kind of the big names for Minnesota. Their defense, honestly, like it's a bit of a nameless defense. Like I don't know if there's any like nationally known stars on it,
Right.
but it was really good last year, and I think they'll be good again. SP Plus projects them to be number 9 in the country this year. So obviously, if they do that, that would be huge. And then we have to just see if the offense can kind of figure it out. That's at least my perspective on. It feels like this season hinges on their offense. Do you agree or not?
Yeah, and I think we may have slandered Tanner Morgan a little bit. It was a little unfair to say that no quarterbacks were good because truthfully, they could between Thompson at Nebraska, you have O'Connell at Purdue, and Tanner Morgan at Minnesota. That's actually like those are 3 quarterbacks that could potentially have really good years, or at least above average years, and be a positive for the team, like not just a neutral or a negative, like an actual benefit for your team. So the number 7.5, and for apologies to Tanner Morgan, he's actually much better than that. So
his play has really dropped off the last couple of years, but I think you could argue that was more because of the offensive coordinator than him personally.
Fair enough. And losing Ibrahim last year in the first game is also like a gut shot too, because like there was no replacement for him, and they struggled because of that. So you mentioned the defense, good, like really good. So yes, they're avoiding Ohio State in the crossover, that's always helpful because that's like a loss, right? So yeah, I'm going to take the over on Minnesota. PJ Fleck gets back to rowing the boat, gets back some of that juice that he had. Remember when they beat Penn State in the snow at home? Was it? I guess it was 2 years ago. Was it the COVID year? Maybe it was the COVID year. But all the stuff that went on there, and like they had a whole bunch of energy kind of behind that program, and it kind of it felt like they kind of took a little bit of a dip or a lull. But I think I really am expecting them to get back up there. I think 8-4 is very doable for them.
Yeah.
9-3 is possibly on the table just because they have a fairly easy schedule. The schedule stacks up pretty well for them. So yeah, fan of them this year to hit the over.
The one thing I don't like about their schedule is it does feel like a lot of the coin flippy type of games are on the road.
Sure.
They have to go to Michigan State, to Penn State, to Nebraska, and to Wisconsin. But I don't think they go 4 in those, and I think they win the vast majority of the rest of their games. I'm on the over pretty easily here. I think they could challenge for the division. We think Wisconsin and Iowa are probably the 2 best teams in the division, and I feel a lot better about Tanner Morgan than I do about those teams as quarterbacks. So if Minnesota's defense is as legit as advertised, and Kirk Shiraka can kind of bring back the magic from a few years ago, Minnesota might be my pick to go all the way to Indianapolis.
For me, they don't have quite that top end. Maybe that Wisconsin does. Maybe even that Nebraska does. But overall, I think 8-4 is extremely attainable, and part of it is too the schedule. Like the schedule has to play into these win totals because, when you get to avoid Ohio State and other guys are having to play them, like that's so huge.
And Michigan, by the way.
Right. You're avoiding them too. So you're avoiding kind of those top 2 juggernauts there in the Big Ten, and things start to look a lot easier when you do that. So Minnesota will have a significant improvement this year, and a lot of it's kind of based on schedule.
Yeah,